This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Today we're dealing with a Whirlpool front load washer that has an F6E1 error, and this means that there's a communication problem between the main computer and the motor control unit, and normally this is caused by a faulty motor control unit that's been kind of overloaded. So the symptom would be when you go to start it, nothing happens. There's no motor movement at all. Usually the motor should be moving, or the spin basket should move a little bit in the first couple of minutes. But nothing's happening, and then you may get on your display an F6E1. So again, usually this just means that you need to get a new motor control unit. I'd advise going to repairclinic.com, because if you don't need it, you can send it back without any problem, 100% money back. So here's the back of the motor control unit. We got to it by removing the back panel of the washing machine. We just took out all the perimeter screws around this back panel and just lifted the panel off. And here's what it should look like when it's running. I put a new motor control unit by the old one, and I put the plugs into the new one, and everything worked fine. You got motor movement, agitation worked, spin worked. So the old motor control unit was just probably overheated by someone putting in maybe too heavy of a load, and it just kind of fried the MCU, the motor control unit. So we have the new one in position, just testing it, and it's doing great. So I'm going to permanently install the new one. First, I'll take out the old one by unplugging it, and then I'm going to take out these 3 plugs, one here at the bottom with the pink wire, and we have the one in the middle. Just grab that and wiggle it out towards you. And then the top one, there's a little plastic catch to your left. You have to push that back and then pull this one out towards you. And that's it. There's just 3 wires. And then you have to push up on this bottom tab with a standard head screwdriver and then pull the unit towards you, toward the back of the washing machine. And the whole motor control unit will come out. And again, if you got one from repairclinic.com, you get a pretty good price, and also you could return it if you need to. So we're going to just wiggle this out now. And again, this was accessed by removing the back panel of the washing machine. This is on a Whirlpool Duet. So we got the old one out. And just looking at the old board. So here comes the new one, the new unit. We're going to put the little plastic legs into the metal slots and then push back toward the front of the washing machine, and that'll lock it into position. We're going to lock this little drain tube down into its clamp on the top of the MCU, and then we just got to put the plugs back in. So we put the one with the pink wire there at the bottom. Then in the middle we have that one that has multicolored wires, and just push it in with your thumb. And then we have the little one with the 2 blue wires that goes into the top. Just push it in with your thumb, and you got it. Make sure these wires are not touching the floor, but they're up away. And then the last thing is just to put the back of the unit back on and test it. So we're going to close the door and start it up and see if we get any kind of motor movement with the new unit in place. So you should hear the door lock, and then you should see a little bit of movement with your spin basket. There we go. So we know that that MCU did the trick. Just testing it a little bit. So the new MCU is in position, the old one's been taken out, and it's doing the agitation really good. And also make sure that all these connections on the back here are tight. So it looks really good. Looking at the old board, I pulled the old board out. I noticed that on the back, one of these connections looked a little bit burned. So I think it got overloaded. probably washing like a big blanket or comforter, something heavy. And these MCUs just aren't designed to take that kind of weight. There's the burn mark on the case too. So if you ever want to take this old circuit board out, you can push in on these little plastic tabs and you can pull it out to do an inspection of the back of the board to see if you see any burn marks. So we're just putting on the back panel again, and we have a fully functioning washing machine. Pretty easy repair. So thanks so much for watching, and please subscribe when you get a chance.